Before we adjourn tonight, I want to take a few moments to share some personal reflections. These are my own thoughts, and I believe it's important to speak directly and honestly, especially in these challenging times. As we close another school year, I want to acknowledge that June is Pride Month, a time to celebrate and uplift the voices, contributions, and the humanity of our LGBTQ plus students, employees, and families. Hillsborough County Public Schools is home to a beautifully diverse community, and every person in this community, I want you to know you belong here. Everyone should have pride in who they are, but for those who have been marginalized, silenced, or denied basic rights, pride is more than just a celebration. It's a statement of resilience and justice. And I believe that pride is for everyone, not just those who identify as LGBTQ+, because pride is about standing together, honoring human dignity, and recognizing that our differences make us stronger. So to everyone in Hillsborough County, happy Pride. I think many of us were disappointed the recognition wasn't honored tonight, but I do expect that there will be one in October. Now, I want to address something that has deeply troubled me this past week. As an elected board member, I will always follow the law. Process and laws matter. But like many of you, I watched the recent state board meeting of education where our superintendent was called to appear. And as someone who serves alongside dedicated board members and educated, I was shocked and frankly appalled. That meeting should have been about oversight, legal clarity, transparency, and support for public education. Instead, elected school board members were misrepresented and insulted, and even more outrageously, our media specialists, our school librarians, were targeted. These are professionals who help students discover a love of reading, explore new ideas, and think critically in a complex world. And to imply that librarians are criminals, to question their literacy, or to label them child abusers, it's not just false, it's dangerous. They are not criminals, they are educators. And this kind of rhetoric doesn't exist in a vacuum. At a time when political violence is rising and a state representative was just assassinated in Minnesota, reckless language is dangerous. This is not a game. These are real people. These are our staff, our neighbors, our community, and they deserve support and protection, not persecution. And I will not stay silent as they are villainized. As I said earlier, we are following the law. We are following state orders. The board and district leadership are working to comply with state directive, even when they come with little guidance. But let's be honest, asking for transparency is not breaking the law. Asking how decisions were made, what criteria were used, and how our community can be involved is not defiance, it's accountability. It is not illegal to request a clear process. It is not inappropriate to expect public clarity from public institutions. In fact, it's our responsibility to ensure that public trust is maintained, especially when the decisions affect our classrooms, our teachers, and our children. As John Adams said, we are a nation of laws, not men. Let me be clear, we are elected by the people of Hillsborough County. We serve our constituents, and that is the foundation of democracy. We answer to the public, and what the public deserves is clarity. They want to know how these 55 books were selected from removal. What is the process? Where was the opportunity for community input? This isn't just about books, it's about who gets to decide what our children are allowed to read, explore, and imagine, and that's why transparency matters. I want the public to know I still expect a clear and comprehensive list of every book removed from our schools. I expect a transparent, detailed report from our superintendent explaining the internal review process, and I expect that report to be made public. Lastly, if the state wants to keep a close watch on Hillsborough, I welcome it. Because what they'll see is a community deeply committed to public education. They'll see students thriving, teachers innovating, and board members, despite relentless pressure, fighting every day for our schools. Not a political agenda, but support, clarity, and truth. I'm sorry to go a little bit over, but in closing, let me say this. Every board member here is committed to following the law, and we are. We will continue to serve this community with professionalism, transparency, and care because our children are watching and they deserve better. Moving forward, we truly hope to build a relationship with the Board of Education that's grounded in mutual respect, support, and a shared purpose for the good of our schools, our educators, and most importantly, our children. Thank you.